money can help, but money can't conquer everything. It helps with most things in all walks of life, but it can't conquer everything. And to be honest, the moments of truth that came, I think the players here have ability, and sometimes that was just lacking at that moment. And that's an ability in itself, don't get me wrong, to have that mental clarity, that technical ability to deliver at that moment. That's really, if you looked at most games this season that we're involved, because we've been in virtually every game. You know, when I speak about the margins, I think it's a fair thing to speak about. I'm not just throwing it around, because I think people who have seen our games think it is very tight. That in itself is a marker. But, you know, we'll learn from the experience, the whole club will. And, you know, people, it's bound to be a debate about finance, because most of football now, particularly the top level football, is based around finance. And we understand that. But I can't make it any more clear. You know, if there's clubs in this country that are hundreds of millions in debt, and yet this club has decided to not go down that road, and yet still being heavily questioned, criticised even, including myself, for not spending enough that could have ruined the club. It's a bizarre state of affairs, really, when you think about it, because everyone's telling football it should clean itself up. We've attempted to run this in the right manner and still be productive and still be progressive enough to be in the Premier League. It hasn't quite worked, and yet still being heavily questioned of why didn't you spend all the money? Well, there is a balance to that, you know, and I think it's quite ironic in a way and almost hypocritical of some to sit there and say that when there's clubs in all kinds of trouble. I'm not going to name them, everyone knows that they are in all kinds of financial trouble. Would I want that on my CV as a young aspiring manager who wants to, you know, do whatever he can in the game? Then no, I wouldn't. We've built a club. Don't want to ruin it. Don't want to throw it under the bus. My story is not bigger than the club's. We'd just come out of the Premier League and a reporter asked me, and I said, look, it's not relevant. And it's not relevant because I've always made it clear I'm the manager, I'm a custodian for the football club. The club will move forward and so will I, and I'll move forward with it. We're planning in the summer, we're planning beyond that, we're planning for next season. But we just got relegated from the Premier League. And I was like, what have I got to do with this at this moment now? I appreciate your job. You're looking for the next story when one's just gone. I mean, this week's been full of it. He's leaving, they're staying, we're signing them, they're coming, they're going. Because the next story is always there.